Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kendrick MIREE here, and you're watching The Last Round. Ain't that right, Kate? Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kendrick MIREE here, and today I have a very, very special guest. He is a minister. He's a life coach. He's a fitness trainer, and he's a massage therapist. Uh, this guy was born in January 1st, 1984. He's a New Year's baby. Born in Saginaw, Michigan. Born 6 weeks early, the premature Lorenzo proved that he was a fighter before knowing that he was destined to fight in 1993. Lorenzo's father, Jesse Addison, a 1984 Golden Glove state champion, introduced Lorenzo to amateur boxing. From 1993 to 2004, Lorenzo had an outstanding amateur boxing career. He added to his resume 2 Silver Glove national championships in 2000, January Junior Olympic national and international champion, 3-time Golden Glove state champion, 2001, 2003, and 2-time Golden Glove national champion, 2002, 2003. Lorenzo participated in the 2004 Olympic trials. Having fallen short of making the Olympic team, Lorenzo made the decision to transition to professional career in 2004. The champion was off to a blazing start with an unblemished record of 15 wins, 0 losses, 7 wins by knockout. When unexpectedly, his freight train as a world champion was derailed due to an injury in 2006. The 22-year-old Lorenzo faced the adversity of a nightmare. He had to stop pursuing his dream to become a world champion. After surgery, he was told by his ophthalmologist that boxing was no longer an option. Following a few months of wrestling with reality, after a few months of wrestling with reality that a promising career was over, Lorenzo began seeking knowledge and education in order to obtain his certification in massage therapy. His determination to be great would not allow him to just stop there. He became a certified life coach as well as a certified fitness trainer. He later completed 2 years of ministry school at the Potter House in Dallas, Texas. Lorenzo is the CEO of Ultimate Fitness and Wellness, a company that focuses on the mind and body and spirit. Ultimate Fitness focuses on youth from all different backgrounds. As a certified life coach, Lorenzo has a passion to encourage and motivate youth from various walks of life. He travels as a public speaker, sharing his testimony. He finds pleasure in teaching on the psychology of a champion and overcoming adversity. Lorenzo's determination and passion for life exemplifies his belief that you must be great or be forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Lorenzo Reynolds. How you doing, Lorenzo?
Man, I'm doing well. Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, we got to read the whole thing. Be great or be forgotten.
That's it. That's the whole affirmation. Be great or be forgotten.
Right, exactly. So yeah, Lorenzo, man, we're gonna hold on one second, sir. We're gonna get into this room. So as you can see, we improvising here. We got daddy daycare going on over here.
Man, that's
lovely. Monster trucks going on outside. So, we just gonna make it do what it do, man. We gotta get it done. I had to get this interview done no matter what. So, Caden, you wanna say anything before we get started? Hey,
Hi.
there you go. He said hello, everybody.
I like that.
So let's start off with childhood, man. So you wanted to get, become a fighter. What made you want to become a fighter at such a young age?
Man, how I got introduced in it, my dad used to fight Golden Gloves. He was a Golden Glove state champion. And so when I would hang out with my dad, whenever we would go places, his friends would bring up his ex-boxing career. And it's just something about hearing them talk about how my dad was a past fighter. I just became excited about it. And then around 1992, when I was 8 years old, my dad started back getting involved in coaching. He started off with his own gym. And so after he started coaching, I started hanging around the gym. But his thing was he was never going to let me fight. And so I can remember being 9 years old. And after training for about almost a whole year, I came to my dad and I said, hey, I want to fight. He said, you're not going to fight. No child of mine is going to box. I was so bold at 9 years old. I told my dad, if you don't train me, somebody else would. 9 years old, I was bold enough to make that statement to my father because it was just something that was lit up in me.
Wow. So at 9 years old, hey, how you doing? You made the decision earlier on in life, and then you ended up, being very successful, and you ended up at the Olympic trials at what age?
I went to the Olympic trials back in 2004. I was 20 years old, and so I had to win a national championship in 2003 in order to get invited to the Olympic trials. So when I won the 2003 National Golden Gloves, that allotted me a slot to go to the Olympic trials in 2004. And so I fell short. The bout that I was eliminated was actually 10-9 on computer scoring. But man, that amateur boxing career I had so many places I traveled to, met so many people, and just an experience that's, man, I could talk about it for 3 lifetimes.
Well, so you ended up, falling short, but then you immediately jumped into a pro career. So where did it start? So as soon as you got out of the Olympic trials, you went straight to pro, just like that?
Well, yeah, the last year of my year and a half of my amateur boxing career, I had scouts and promoters and different managers looking at me then, and I was actually thinking about turning pro at around 18 years old, right after high school. Mm-hmm. But the Olympics was so close, I was like, you know what? Let me give this a try, because that was always a goal of mine to represent the United States at the Olympic Games. And plus, my father was like, Lorenzo, just take it slow, because I was still developing, kind of developing that adult strength and just the work ethics from being an amateur to a professional. So I ended up not turning pro at 18, even though I had the managers and the promoters coming at me into the 2004 Olympic trials. So immediately after the trials, I hooked up with a very famous advisor, Al Heyman, and he had me on a blazing start. I had 15 fights within a year and a half. That's an amazing pace to keep up, but I was able to do it and won all 15 fights before suffering an eye injury.
Yep. So when you suffer that eye injury, man, it put you in a place, in a dark place, and then something else happened, with the family. Can you tell us about what happened with the family during that time you got injured and everything?
Yeah, well, my last fight, June 2006, was on ESPN2. Mm-hmm. And so I was told by my advisor and team, like, if you win this fight, we got a big contract for you at the end of 2006. Well, I won the fight, but I had an injury in training camp. And so after that fight, I knew that I had a cataract. And so I come back home, and at this point in time, I'm forced to sit down until I set up my surgery dates. Well, being forced to sit down, I started going to the doctors with my mother. My mother was facing a terminal illness, at which they told me that she might not live within a year. Well, that year ended up turning into about 3 months. So my mother survived about 2.5, 3 months after we was told a year. My mother passed away that September the 5th, 2006. And then the end of September 2006 is when I had my surgery. So I got my cataract removed. Once the cataract was removed, I learned that my retina was detached. And so I had a cataract surgery. I had a detached retina surgery. Then I had pressure that was real high in the eye. So I had 3-4 surgeries all together. So after those 3-4 surgeries, I was told that I'd never be able to box again because no state would license me. And so it was just, man, it was just the adversity of a lifetime to have to bury a 40-year-old mother. At the time, I'm 22 years old, burying her. So after she passed, I got custody of my twin sisters. They were 15 at the time, and so I just had to regroup. And education and helping others is what kept me going. First of all, the promise that I gave my mother that I would take care of my sisters until their last 3 years of graduating. That, and at the point in time, I had a 1.5-year-old daughter. So I had people depending on me, so I had to just make an adjustment of a lifetime. And fast forward time, making that adjustment has brought me to this place of just being able to work with people and meet different people and just be a tremendous help. But had I given up, all this would have never came.
So yeah, man. That was a lot of stress at a young age,
Definitely.
and you know what I'm saying. And look where we at now, man. It's amazing how you got through that. Um, and so after you had that, like, you hit that brick wall basically.
Absolutely.
You hit the life put the like hit the brakes, or God hit the brakes for you. Um, how did you make that switch to wanna wanna do something with yourself? Like, what happened? What made you say, man, I got it? I mean, you didn't have a choice, or what was it?
Well, first of all, I think whenever you experience trauma like that, you have to go through your lows. And for me, my lows was I stopped working out. I wanted nothing to do with boxing. I had started boxing when I was 9 years old. I had trophies from 9 years old all the way to 20 years old through the amateur boxing program. I didn't want to see any trophies. I began throwing stuff away. I stopped working out. And so when I stopped working out, that's when stress became extra heavy. I became verbally abusive. I acted out in certain ways that were just totally unhealthy. So I had to hit a low. And I can remember one time crying, tears, and looking in the mirror, begging God to help me and to show me the way. And so it took counseling. It took to start back with my fitness training. It took a few years of educating myself, educating the body, educating the mind, educating the spirit. It took to hit that low to want to get back up and to know, like, hey, I was not trained to be at this low point, but I had to visit it. And so sometime in life, we have to visit a place that we don't want to visit for a season, but that's okay as long as we don't get comfortable there. And so what really helped me was knowing that I was better than the behavior that I was displaying through the anger and just needing that stress relief. And so after taking almost a year off of working out, when I started back working out, when I started praying and working out and eating right, all these things together began to help me to become back to that place of peace that I had as a fighter. And then a few years after that, I knew that I liked working with people. And so I started studying for massage therapists, got that certification, learned functions of the muscles and breathing techniques and just how the body works and how energy actually flows through us. And then after that, I got certified for fitness training. So it's just that level of education and that newness that came with that just gave me that hunger and the appetite to keep striving for greatness.
Yeah. You said a lot right there, my man. Yeah, you did. No, it's all good. It's all good. You have crazy journey, man. And so what else? Like, what were some of the hurdles once you made the switch and you said, look, I got to keep going, I got to keep fighting to be a better person. And once you made that switch, what have some of the hurdles been as a fitness trainer or a person that's in the health and wellness industry? Tell me what are some things that has like what new adversities have happened since then? What's your new challenges?
Well, I would say, personally, me, when you're in the sport of boxing, it's individually. So everything is predicated on you, off of your hard work, off of your dedication, off of what you do. Okay. And so you can learn to subconsciously become a little selfish because you have to be in order to get it by yourself. You have to get up and run by yourself. You have to eat right by yourself. And so becoming a fitness trainer, you have to celebrate someone else's success. You have to become happy and they have to become a joy of yours. So that transition of not being selfish and being happy for someone else and wanting to help someone else, that was a transition in the beginning. But once I made that, which didn't take long, once I made that, training became fun because in the beginning, I started off like a drill sergeant. And my attitude was, I'm gonna throw so much hard work at you, and if I run you away, who cares? And so I had to learn to meet people where they were, but be patient with them and give them time to grow and to mature into this new fitness lifestyle that I was throwing at them. And so, some of the challenges is, even now, some of the challenges when you work with a client and they don't see the potential that they have, and so they'll give up on themselves. That's never a fun thing when people give up on themselves when you know that they have so much in them. But the reward is when someone think that they can't do something, they try and they see that they successful. That glow that comes on their face, man, is totally priceless. When you tell somebody, you're going to build yourself up to do a plank for 1 minute. Yeah. And after a couple of weeks, they build themselves up. That confidence that they have, man, you can write a book about it. So those are the things that bring the greatest joy.
Right. So my man, so you got in there, you're in a place where you feel instant gratitude now, like being in the health and wellness industry. And now you're an entrepreneur, and so like financially, you know what I'm saying, like, I know it's some struggles here and there, and it seems like you maintain and you growing. Where do you see sorry about that. Where do you see Ultimate Fitness? Where do you see Ultimate Fitness going?
Well, Ultimate Fitness and Wellness is a company that was built off of working with people from diverse backgrounds. And so we want to build a team to where we're able to go into some of the schools and some of the after school programs and work with the youth. And then we want to work with adults. And then we want to get to the point to where we even work with the elderly and some of the nursing home facilities. So we want to have something on each level for everybody. And then I still train a few fighters. We got Jermaine Franklin, 989 Assassin. He's 20-0 as a heavyweight. And so, man, I get a thrill with working with different people. I don't want to leave nobody out. And so we want to have different programs that are going to include everybody from all walks of life and all levels of fitness, exclude nobody, from people that are barely old enough to walk to people that are living out their last days.
So you're trying to cast a very broad net. Hold on 1 second. What's wrong? You okay? Okay. All right. So, all right. So you're trying to cast a very broad net. So, when you are traveling and you're doing your thing. Hi, beautiful. You're traveling, you do your thing. Hold on 1 second. Had to distract you real quick. When you're traveling, I mean, when you casting a broad net, and you have a lot on your plate, so you have a big task ahead of you. But I think with your background, it sounds like you're ready. You know what I'm saying? With everything that you've been through, it sounds like you're ready. So seem like nothing's gonna stop you, especially with what you've been through already.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
And like you say, you know, to cast a net that broad is very challenging. But I just look at the fact that I've never really had a fair fight. It's always been fights inside of fights on top of fights. For instance, when I was born, not only was I premature, but I had yellow jaundice, and you know, I'm underweight, and so you know, I had to fight to survive, and had to fight to get my weight up, and had to fight to get rid of the yellow jaundice. And so, you know, my whole life has been fight on fight, and even as a childhood, fighting to, you know, always moving around and getting, you know, used to a new school, and boxing at the same time, trying to keep the grades up and traveling. Like, there's always been multiple fights. And so moving forward now to work with multiple clients is like, this isn't something that I'm unfamiliar with. It's been fights inside of fights. And so when you're used to fighting, you have to understand that there will always be different arenas and different parts of the fight. But at the end of the day, a fight is a fight. And in a fight, you're going to get knocked down. And in a fight, it's going to look like you're not winning.
Right.
But as long as you keep your eye on the prize and keep moving forward, and you have faith, and we know that faith without works is dead. So you have to put the work with the faith. You can't be denied. So that's my attitude moving forward, and even here and now.
Yeah. Well, man, hey, we're going to wrap up this call and this talk real quick. But when people want to reach out to you, how can they reach out to you?
I'm on Facebook under Lorenzo Reynolds. I'm at on Instagram at Mr. Lorenzo25. I can reach by email at mrlorenzo25@gmail.com. So, man, I'm around, always taking in new clients, always up to work with people. I'm thankful for the partnerships that we have had over the last year with KM Fitness and some of the lives that we have touched together. So, man, I'm always down for a new adventure, man. It's exciting. I truly am thankful for everything that I've experienced thus far in life, but I also believe that the best is yet to come. So with that being said, man, I'm more than excited.
Most definitely, brother. Most definitely. So, again, guys, this is Lorenzo Reynolds. He has a amazing journey, and one thing that I learned just from learning about your background and where you came from and what you've been through is that you are truly a fighter.
Thank you.
Truly a fighter, and I like the be great or be forgotten, and
yes.
And I'm all about trying to be the best person I can be. So, I can, in the grand scheme of things, I want to, give something back to the world and say, hey man, Kendrick, he did some good things before he clocked out. And yeah, you just getting started, man.
Thank you.
Started.
I appreciate that a lot, brother.
Yeah, you're just getting started. Guys, we're gonna wrap up this call. My name is Kendrick, and if you want to see more and talk to some more great people like Lorenzo, please like, share the YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to get some more great people on here so that you can comment. So if you got any questions, just hit me up in the comment section. If you guys want to be on your show yourself, you can shoot me an email at info@rukmfit. All right, so guys, that's it. Thank you for watching the last round. Lorenzo, thank you. And
thank you.
We out of here. Say bye, Kaden. Say bye-bye. Want to say bye?
Bye-bye.
No, she wants to say, she wants to say bye. Say bye. Say bye, wave. Bye. There you go. All right, guys. So we're going to sign out. Talk to you later, guys.